Hello and welcome to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. Today I'm going to be continuing my plot tour with Carl on his allotment. His YouTube channel is From Plot to Plate No Dig, and I'll put it in the link below, and you'll also probably be able to see it as we go along. There'll probably be links in this video to certain videos on his channel. So let's not waffle any longer. Let's join Carl outside having a look around his plot.
So these are again pak choi, but you can see the difference here on these than the ones that are outside, that are inside the polytunnel rather. So these are more lusher and greener. And they're not bolted and not going to seed. So I think the other ones are going to seed in there. So these seem to last a little bit longer outside. I know there's a couple of YouTubers that have given me some comments saying that they has already gone to seed, which is a couple of weeks ago. So I've done really well with these, to be honest.
Yeah, pak choi does go quite quick in the heat, I believe. Anyway.
Yeah. That's it. And it's only like a couple of seasons I've started growing it, to be honest. I've never and Swiss chard. So I haven't grown it before.
It's very versatile though, isn't it? Because you can have them in stir fries, soups.
Yes.
Just you know, sautéed with some butter and
yeah, this is lovely. Why are you talking about food now? I'm starving.
I just give you a sausage roll.
I know. I got a couple of radish in here as well that I've just sown. Let's have a little look. We'll come back to the beans now in a second.
Oh, thank you. What have you been doing, Anwen?
Feeding the chickens.
Feeding the chickens?
Testing the eggs.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. That's cool. Collecting the eggs as well. These are red cabbage, and again with these I put these in about 2 months ago, maybe something like that, 10 weeks. And again, how I plant them, I just dig a hole, put some chicken manure or 6X in the hole, fill it with water, and then just chuck the plant directly on top of that, and it just explodes. You know, the green, and you can see the texture and the quality of the plant looks awesome at the moment. So I'm really pleased with the cabbages. But I will make a confession, I did think I had purple kale down there, but it seemed that because I'm rubbish at labelling, so we've all got weaknesses, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I didn't label it, and I just must have put 2 lots of the same seed in. And
do you do that thing where you think, oh, of course I'll remember what it is, and then you never do?
I know, I do it all the time, honestly. I'm my worst enemy, and I'm shouting at myself then, saying, Carl, you know, sort your life out, like, you've got to get organised. But anyway, these are looking absolutely fantastic. So I think there's probably about, 50 cabbages that should have been 25 of each. But they're so lush, and look at, I haven't done hardly any weeding here at all, because I've had obviously you can see the covers.
Yeah.
The covers were over them. I've only opened them up for you today because obviously I will protect them with the butterflies.
Yes, yeah.
And I've done hardly any weeding, and that's what's so good about no dig.
Yeah.
Because it just, I got pictures where, I turn my plot over, and my neighbours have obviously they turn their plots over, and you had a bit of rain, before you know it, the weeds are just
off,
yeah. I haven't had that problem.
Yeah.
But again, it's not for everybody, and I know everybody gardens the way they want to garden. As long as you're gardening, that's the main thing, really.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I think no dig is better in the sense of less weeds, more time harvesting, more time planting, and less time doing the things you don't like, which is weeding.
Yes.
So all these are ball head cabbage. Again, they're looking super healthy. Same way I planted these as I planted the red cabbage. Dig a hole, put some organic matter in there, and allow them to take off, really. And they're looking good. To be honest, I won't be long. Probably taking a couple of these up. I just pick them as they are, and just if I pick 2 or 3 and chop them up, and I'll have a dinner out of them as they are. I don't wait for them to ball up,
Yeah.
For the heads to be produced. These are broccoli. And I think I've got 3 sprouts in there, which I need to get a couple more sprouts actually. But that one's been munched by probably ants or slugs possibly, I don't know, but there we go. you know, I've got to feed nature as well, haven't I?
That's right.
Just over there, because you won't be able to step on us, so I'll just point that out to you. So we got these are 2 new raised beds that I've just taken advantage of. They're only pallet collars. There's lettuce in there, red chard in there, and I got some more sweet corn in the back. On the right hand side by here, you can see my gutter system.
Oh yeah.
So basically I've got a pipe that's coming from the barrel, which is automatically feeding the plants. I've just got to side shoot them now because they're looking a bit bushier. So they are on that gutter system, which basically is a capillary action which feeds the plants. So I won't have to water them at all, only just give them a feed once or twice a week. You know, so that's brilliant, that is like. So what we do, we go up around the other side of the tunnel now. I got a couple of things to show you there as well, my alliums and stuff. So
yeah.
Look at that. So again, just like you know, it's perhaps 2 or 3 metre square the area here. A couple of raised beds. So in this first pallet collared bed, again, this is new this year. Because if you remember, perhaps from previous videos, I don't remember Bethan, I used to have my greenhouse by here. When we had all that storm, when we had that storm, my greenhouse just like landed up over the other side of the allotment. No one else was damaged except for mine.
Aww.
So I thought I'll get rid of it, and I was thinking about the polytunnel, and obviously things change, and anyway, here we are. So in here I got these carrots again, which are part of the trainers again, you know, and they're looking really good. A couple of them need to be thinned out, to be honest. So let me just show you this. I don't think I have a close up of this one, but when I thin this out, this is what I'm saying. So I'll take this one out by now, right? See what the root looks like.
Oh yeah.
So it's a long,
straight
root, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously that's now going into, just touching, going into the soil.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So hopefully they'll all grow through the bottom, and they'll, you know, they'll sort of be nice and long and thick then, like when I leave them in.
Yeah.
But that's part of the idea really, and I can just control when I sow these. I can control the environment. I can put them in a polytunnel at the start. You know, keep them secure in there if you like.
Yeah.
And then when they all start to germinate, I can bring them outside and put them on the beds. Thank you. So that's the idea there. A couple more lettuce. Sweet peas have only just gone in recently, and they look like they could do with a bit of a feed or something. I don't know what's happening to there, but I would given them, to be honest. I haven't grown them myself. Again, spinach. Doesn't look like they're going to seed again because it's outside.
Yeah.
So obviously internally, they bring you harvest on this one, and I'll harvest them once. That's the next sort of harvest I'm going to take. I got a couple of spare potatoes, so I just chucked them in some containers there. Obviously broad beans. These were spare plants, so I've just chucked them into my main broad bean areas on the other side, which we'll have a look at in a sec. You've seen the pak choy there.
Yep.
This is my other carrot container. You've probably seen it on one of my other videos where I basically put like a grid. I've cut a grid that'll go the same size as this, just like this it is basically, but I've cut it in a circle. Put that on it and just basically made the holes in and planted each seed in them, like, you know, so they're all the right distance apart. And the good thing with doing it this way, what I like about this is that so they'll stay out, you know, through the growing season. I won't harvest these at all, but come the end of the year I'll put them inside the polytunnel and I'll just take them when I need them then. So, you know, they'll store in this dry compost inside, and they'll just stay there until I need them. So I could be picking them from November, December, perhaps even January, as and when I need them. That's what's so good about growing in containers, because I can shift them inside, whereas you can't do that if you put them in a permanent bed, you know. So it's all good, all good. This is a recently planted bed with lettuce. There used to be multi-sown radish, French breakfast radish in there. That was packed with them. They've all been harvested and eaten and sold. So I've just transplanted some lettuce in there now. These have gone in the last couple of days or so. They look like one or two have been eaten as well there. So this bath, metal bath, again full of daffodils but I've just put a layer of compost on when the daffodils are finished, cut them back, and planted spinach straight in behind them, and they're doing really well. I've harvested 3 or 4 harvests off these already. Yeah. And these were the first lot to go in. Got more lettuce and leeks, which are basically interplanting. So, and obviously the reason behind that is to maximise your space, I suppose. So these lettuce, I'll just continue to pick the leaves off, and then the leeks will take pretty much all the growing season to grow, won't they, as you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, once the lettuce are finished, the leeks will have plenty of room to expand. And I'll be picking leeks then come towards the end of the season, August, September time, like, you know. So
Yeah, lovely.
peas are in there. They're my third batch of peas they've put in. Like they look healthy, but they just don't seem to move. They're just not moving. I don't know. The others are shooting up the fence, but they just not seem to be moving. I don't know what it is, to be honest. So if anybody got any tips on your channel, or even you got any tips, let me know. So I don't know what's happening over there, to be honest. But so this is the allium bed. So I've got shallots in here. These won't be long, and these will be harvested. So I'll be putting something else again directly after these. There's onions, a whole mixture of onions in here. Onions grown from seed, Ailsa Craig. I've got Sets, Sturon and Turbo. I've also got Red Sets, Red Baron in here as well. So there's a multi different type of onions and things. The Ailsa Craig, when you grow from seed, they're a lovely onion, but they don't keep. So I do grow a lot from Sets because the Sets seem to store better, don't they, you know, through the winter period when you need them, really.
I find the other way. When I grow Sets, I find they bolt, and seeds do better for me.
Oh, right. So you may be able to get the they do better for you, but do you mean, do they store as well?
Yeah, they seem to store, but we use a lot of onions though, so
right, okay.
you know, we probably don't get to the end of the year, you know, to see how well they store, but yeah, they seem to do all right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I the Red Barons sometimes bolt. I have a tendency with them. But I bought the heat treated ones this year, so this is a new thing. I had a good crop last year. They weren't heat treated, but I had a good crop. They don't go to waste. Even when I start the bolt, I'll just take them and chop them up and just chuck them in a salad or whatever. Anyway, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I find the Sturon and Turbo, the Sets, I've never had no trouble with them bolting. And you know, once you tie them and they dried properly, and they stored properly, I have them till February the following year, like, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Funny, isn't it? I think different climate as well. See, you know, you come further down the valley, down the country.
Yeah.
You know, and you got you can say you get it drier up by you. Said,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
there could be, you know, I don't know, different climates. So these are all my potatoes. So there's a couple of different varieties. I don't normally grow a second early. I always grow a first early. I think it's Rocket. I think is the first early variety, and I've also got Maris. No Maris Pia. It's not Maris either. It's It's a very sort of high-heeled in. It'll come back to me now.
Begin with an M, or?
I don't know if it's beginning with an M. Stem ones there it is, and they're called Sapo Mira.
Oh, right.
Sapo Mira. So I've grown them for the last couple of years, and the buckets get full of potatoes in them, and they're good storing potatoes as well. So yeah, but I don't get to store them much because they normally go, like, you know. But
Yeah.
I got a couple of odd small they're shop bought potatoes that my mother bought from a shop.
All right.
And she's basically said, oh, some of them are sprouted, so I don't even know what variety they are, and I've just chucked them into a single container pots. The pots obviously were free from Morrison's, and I've just filled them up with a couple of potatoes. So again, I got more onions and stuff in here, a couple of garlic. I missed out on garlic this year, if I'm honest. I should have put them in October last year, and I didn't do it, so I thought I'd get away with it, put them in spring. I never go round to planting them, and I had a couple of spare plants one of the boys gave me, and I just put them in. So
All right.
I'm a bit gutted by that, to be honest. There we go. Learning every season, don't we? You know.
Yeah.
It's different. My chives. This is supposed to be like a patio apple in the sense of it's supposed to stay small, and I've never had any fruit on it, but this year. And maybe you can give me some tips for you, because I'm not a fruit person.
Yeah.
So I've got like a lot of fruit that seems coming on that stem there. Do I snip some of them off?
Yes, I would snip enough off just to leave either 2 or 3.
Is it?
And then you'll get a decent size apple rather than 5 sort of.
Hanging off the one stem.
Yeah, but they'll be small. You know, you'll have 5 sort of crab apple size apples. So if you cut them,
Back. Okay. And so I can just, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6 on it. So if I get rid of 4 and leave 2,
Yeah.
that'll be
Yeah.
okay, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do that then. Yeah. Good, excellent. So as we move on further on down, I got a couple of some more brassicas in this bed here. This is kale. Can't remember the variety either, to be honest. So apologies for that. And they were given to me. They were going spare, and I just thought, you know, there was a bit of ground here, and I just put them in. So they were what I've grown. They were given to me. They were. So I don't even know what they are even. But I know they're a brassica. What do you think they could be? Any guesses?
They look cabbage, I'd
Cabbage,
say.
innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it could be like a looking at that shape of that leaf, it could be like a Savoy, maybe Savoy cabbage, isn't it?
Yeah.
That right. So this is my little glass. I got carrots growing in there. So this is like the grid system. So I basically, put that in there, you know, flat, and then just make an indentation, and then plant the carrot seeds in there. Really, that's what I do with them, and they haven't germinated yet. They've only been done a couple of days, so I'm hoping that they won't be long. I did plan to do some parsnips in this one, but just haven't happened. Hey ho! But I have got parsnips, just to let you know, right? And I'm proud of these. So I always have problems germinating parsnips, and I'm going to try and do the chip-in method, I think, next season. I put these directly in, and I've just thinned them out, and they are looking pretty good now. But I always have struggles with parsnips, and so it's a crop I really want to grow, because I know I'm struggling to grow it, so it does my head in.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you got to grow it, Carl. It's just a challenge, you know.
I think we all have crops like that.
Yeah.
Like, I can never get a cauliflower. Like, however much I grow a cauliflower, it's just never,
get it there.
or sometimes then it's grown and I've just left it a little bit too long, and it's,
I want the seed, like, oh, I know, it's frustrating, isn't it? It is frustrating. So this bed is always my bean bed. I've never rotated this since the bed has been here, and it's been here, this will be my 5th year. So I've never rotate the beans at all. I don't hardly rotate the onions either. I seem to keep them in the same place, and I never had no problem. I'm not sure about this rotation aspect of things when you know, nature doesn't rotate, does it?
No.
You don't get the trees thinking, oh, I want to go over there now, and I'll drop my leaves that side, and then I'll, you know, just this will happen, like, you know. So I can see that diseases, and you know, and if you turn in the soil, again, I think with no dig, because of all the fungal network in the soil, the mycorrhizal and stuff that's growing and whatever, there's lots going on in the soil, isn't it?
Yes, loads.
It just fascinates me, absolutely fascinates me. I love it. This is a new bed this year. I've just planted broad beans in here for this season. We do love broad beans in my household, to be honest. My parents love them as well. My father loves them. He can eat like literally a plate full of broad beans with butter on the top and a bit of pepper.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, but takes it all down, I suppose. A couple of potatoes here. These are my onions again. I think these were stew on. This is another new bed this year. But I've got this throw it in. Look at this. It's a nightmare.
Oh.
It's not bindweed, is it? It's what's it called? What do they call it now? It's got like a white flower on it, hasn't it?
I thought that was bindweed.
It is bindweed,
yeah,
then. That's what it is. Yeah, absolutely bindweed. Then. And it's coming in from outside here, and I got to keep on top of it all the time. It's a bit of a nightmare. But these raspberries, so these were free.
All right.
So what happened? If you look at just outside the fence for there, you can see a load of raspberries that have just been thrown out there. So the a guy who had this allotment a long time ago had loads of raspberries in here, and he just threw them outside.
Yeah.
And they've just basically spread. So I went out there come the autumn about 2 years ago and dug them up.
Yeah.
And then transplanted them into this no-dig bed. And you can see if you look out that side,
Yeah.
you know, they don't look the best. But
Yeah, they're
here,
really
look
good,
really
yeah.
healthy, like, you know. So I had a load of fruit off these last year. I was so chuffed with these, so I'm looking forward to these this year as well with the fruit.
Yeah.
These are alderman peas, and you might see that this is quite high really, but alderman will grow about 2 meters high, won't they? So
they do,
they're
yeah.
fantastic, and I do love peas. If I manage to get them to the house, that is, because when I'm down here, you'll see me quite often sitting here and I'm munching on things, like, you know, and I'm like, just hardly get it up the house. That's the problem. But yeah, I do like my peas. This bed, it's got a mixture of everything. Again, a bit of interplant in here. So I got sweet corn, and there's, I think, 40 sweet corn in total. But I've also interplanted with some cauliflower in between. And in the past, I've had success doing it this way. I've never had a problem. And I got more stuff to go in between the rows here as well, to be honest. And we'll see how that goes. I just maximise the space.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Gotta do it. These are actually radish, but they're only marking the row for my carrots.
You got carrots underneath, yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
I've never grown carrots in this bed before, so I just sort of put a row in to see what they would come like. And you'll see how it goes. But I'll do more carrots as the season goes on as well. So within about a month or 6 weeks' time, so middle of July, end of July, I'll put another batch of carrots in, a couple of tubs in, ready for the end of the year, like, as well. So I can bring them in the polytunnel in the dry, and I can just feed them as I want, you know. All on this bed is my broads again. These are all flowering really well. It won't be long before they'll start dropping off, and we'll hopefully have some beans if I can get the bees to pollinate them. There's no problems with the bees stinging me. I got a nice sting in the face about 3 weeks ago down there.
Oh no.
So yeah. I got this here, I got that bindweed coming up in here as well. Look at this.
My son Griff got stung by a bee the other day as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it's very rare, actually, you get stung by a bee, isn't it?
And the guy who just had that accident, he was his son was up there doing a bit of digging, and we got bees on the allotment as well, at the other end. And they stung him as well. So, and I've been up there previous years. I've actually gone into where the bees aren't filming and with no cover on, and I've never had a problem.
Yeah.
But one of the other allotment here said that there could be. Last year there was a swarm of wild bees.
Oh right, okay.
And they may have mixed.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, it's causing a bit of a problem, like. So I don't know. But that's that fine. We look at the roots and all, see.
Oh, I know.
And you just need that to break off there, and that start off a new plant, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Horrible stuff. Horrible stuff. There we go. So, a couple more potatoes on the paths here that, excuse the mess.
Oh, if you don't have a mess somewhere on your allotment, then you'd...
I'm not even going to show you in the shed, so I'm glad you haven't asked to go in there, whatever you do, because I don't think you would get in anyways, just packed full of tubs and all sorts. These are my Swede, or as the Americans call them,
rutabaga.
Yes, absolutely. That's what the Americans call them, yeah. I didn't know that until this year, so it's something I've learned. So that's interesting. Yeah, but these have gone in a while, to be honest. And I'm hoping they don't go to seed. And whether I've put them in a bit early, but they do seem to be stemming up a little bit there as well with some of them. But stew packs is the key for these. So my parsnips, Swede, will be for stew packs at the end of the year with carrots, and can't beat a bit of stew, like.
Yeah.
Again, radish in here. I had a couple of spare beans, so I tried to do a bit of a climbing frame here, but they just don't seem to have. Oh, they are starting to climb a bit now, look. See a radish. Look, see, they're all looking good. Yeah, I'll take them up for after. But yeah, these are like, they gone really pale. I don't know what's happening with them.
Are they in the shade a lot? Maybe.
The sun comes around, so they do get a fair bit of sun. When we have sun, that is all. It's not very often in Wales, unfortunately. So behind you we got my gooseberry bush. I'm really happy with this year, and the reason why is I know I'm going to make plenty of wine. Because this last year I cut it right back and I thought I killed it, to be honest. It looked terrible, and this year it just exploded again. So I'm chuffed to bits for that. And this little section is my trial section. So again, there's no dig bed. I got some peas and things like that in there. But so these potatoes I've planted all at the same time. Okay, so I got some growing in the ground, some growing in pots with just holes, you know, a couple of holes, drainage holes in the bottom, and this one has got no bottom on it, so it's just directly allowed to grow into the soil. And you can see the difference.
Yeah.
And they were all planted at the same time, same amount of compost has gone in them, you know, so
yeah,
it's amazing difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes it's handy to do these little trials, and for any new gardeners out there, it doesn't matter how long we've been doing it, I don't care who they are. They could be a professional gardener, but we're learning all the time, and we off each other as well,
absolutely.
which is so good with the gardening community. You're picking up tips all the time, it's fantastic. But you know, any new gardeners out there, and they try them in pots, and they think, oh, mine's not growing as so and so. But it's not. Sometimes it's not what they've done is anything wrong. Is it worse? Just perhaps sometimes, you know, I would be looking at I'd be disappointed if I was thinking, oh, you know, what's going on by here? And I planted that, and I've seen someone else's like that, and it's the same seed potato, but it's just there's something obviously different, because whether it's because it's not enough drainage in there. So that could be a factor.
Yeah.
And there's plenty in there because that's going allowed to go in the ground, and obviously you don't need drainage with the bed as it is. But these are looking the best at the moment. But the harvest is what I'm concerned about. How many potatoes you're going to get out of the buckets and out of these, you know?
Yeah.
Which with time will tell. But they're all early variety as well, so I'm hoping it won't be too long before we do the weigh in with them. So we just show my parsnips, and we'll just show you my my compost as well then.
Okay.
So you'll see on my previous videos what I've got by here. It's basically now all this compost that's here, right? Oh, I'm digging out, and there's a seed in it actually. So all this compost is actually broken down wood chip that I've taken from outside. The whole container, which is nearly 1,700 litres, is actually free compost from outside.
Amazing.
So I've recycled all that compost, broken down wood chip, barreled it in here through my trommel, got it in here, and now I've planted carrots in here now. So not only have I planted carrots in the actual cups, I've also put them in between. Again, maximising the space. They haven't germinated yet, but it hasn't been long since they've been in. Again, just maximising the space, like, you know.
Yeah.
The variety where, again, sweet candle, I really stick to them because I've always had good success with them. And it's always been, they always produce a good root, you know, good stem. Like on them.
Yeah.
So, let me just show you my 2 compost bins then.
It's just as well you haven't got smell-o-vision.
Oh, come on now, you know it smells sweet. It's like, you know, we don't open a bag of compost, that smell.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it smells like. Not.
If I open a bag of compost it smells like this, I would take it back to the shop.
I know, look at it.
Mom, that seems
Oh, it does stink, doesn't it? I can smell it now myself, and I always stir up. So it's reading at the moment, it's 138. It was like, when I first put it in, was 160, but you got what I like about this gauge, it's got like warm, active and hot. I like to try and keep it in the green, you know, try and keep, it does drop, obviously it will when it decomposes and it cools down, but try and keep it in the green if I can, which is obviously active, and it continues to decompose then, like. But yeah, so that's my baby. You can smell it, can't you? It's bad.
I think my children just put an apple in there.
Ah, that's alright, great. They can come anytime. Let me just show this last compost bin by you. So all this material went in yesterday. I did a raised, I just put a video up actually. A friend of mine wanted to have a bit of a growing space. So I actually made 3 raised beds for her. It took me about 30 minutes.
Alright.
So no dig beds. Out of pallet collars, cardboard, on grass, on a lawn. But what she had at the back of hers, because she'd cut this massive lawn she had, all the grass clippings and bits and pieces that she did, she's given to Carl.
Oh.
Carl have just got all this yesterday. This material, this was a mixture of a bit of wood in here, grass clippings in here, and this is just lovely.
Well, she'll be sorry she gave you this material now. When she knows a bit more, she'll be like, "Why did I do that?"
No, she'd be like, "Why didn't I make my own compost?" And I haven't given her them secrets yet. So, but yeah, that's it, isn't it? So it's just taking advantage of these little No, I was like a kid. I came home yesterday in the car, and I was putting this in here, and I was like so excited. I'm thinking, someone looking at me would think I'm off my head, but I just love I love the fact that that's going to actually turn into soil next year.
Yeah.
I just think it's incredible.
And it's all free.
It's free. That's the key.
And you're not digging anything up and destroying it. It's all just what's natural.
What's natural, yeah. So there we are. So I think that's about it, kid. You've had a good view. You've had the full tour.
We haven't. There's nothing we haven't seen, I don't think.
No, absolutely. And I don't know what's going to happen next season, but there may be another plot on the way next season. We'll see what happens with that.
Oh.
There could be another polytown going up.
Oh, heck.
But that's a story for another time. It's been lovely to have you with us, and thank you very much for joining us, and particularly for my sausage roll. That was the best part.
Well, I think we better end it there, as that went on quite some time, but as Welsh we can go on a bit, can't we?
We can absolutely. And let me just conclude by saying, lovely jubbly.
Lovely jubbly, lovely job.
Oh, lovely job, innit? That's right, yeah, sorry.
Right, let's do that again. Lovely job. Catch you next time.
Bye.
So here are the entries from the competition I ran in the last vlog, where I asked whose plot I was on, and these 7 people commented before the plot tour of Carl's polytunnel went out. So these will now be scrunched up in a bowl, and I'll get one of my children to draw the name out, and we'll find out who the winner is. So here's all the entries in the bowl. Anwen, do you want to pick one out for us, love? Right. Who is the lucky winner? Bill and Val, from Bill and Val's, well, there used to be 2 plots of heaven, but I think they're just Bill and Val's allotments now. But excellent. Well done, Anwen. Thank you very much. So well done, Bill and Val. I will be sending you your prize through the post. If you could send me an email, my email should be in the contact page on YouTube. If you send me an email with your address, then I can send it straight to you. And that would be great. So well done, you two. And well done for everyone else who took part. Thank you very much. And I really enjoyed my visit to Carl. It was lovely to have a look around his plot and see what he's up to. And hopefully I'll be able to visit a few more plots in the future and see what everyone else is up to, maybe. So that's it from me for today. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this look around Carl's plot. Lovely job.
Lovely job. Lovely